WBBL 06. We'll discuss all the major ins and outs on episode 47 of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre Podcast. Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of the Kingsgrove Sports Centre Podcast. Yes, it is that time again. WBBL, it is going ahead, which is really exciting despite all the COVID and all that sort of stuff. We're gonna have a season. It's the 6th edition of it, and to discuss all the ins and outs, player movements, and all the exciting fun ahead, I am joined once again in the studio by Hamish Solomons. How are we?
Hello, everybody. I did a you then.
Thank you very much. And hello to all of our viewers. I didn't in Chapel. There you go. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. It's my favourite T20 tournament.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say it. It's my favourite T20 tournament. It's the one I look forward to most. The others I don't look forward to that
as much.
No.
Fair enough. Okay. Excellent. It's glad you told us that. Do you feel better?
I feel better.
Yeah, good.
And I look forward to talking more about it in a moment.
Good. So do I. And we look forward to talking to Leisa Johns about it as well. Good morning, Leisa. How are we?
Very well.
Leisa!
Is it your favourite
Yeah.
T20 tournament?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, why wouldn't it be? Yeah. It is. It's probably it is probably the best T20 tournament. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you two have reason to be biased towards it.
Slight bias towards it.
Just because I'm a female?
Oh, here we go.
No.
Yes, Leisa.
You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
well, it should be, to be truthful.
Yeah. We've fought long and hard to get recognition in this sport, and look, we've got our own standalone T20 competition that the rest of the world is jealous of.
Yeah. No,
Yep.
and that's the important bit because, like I said, obviously, we know we're still going through COVID times or whatever, but Cricket Australia has committed to the full schedule.
Yep.
So full 56 games, so they haven't cut it or shortened it or turned it into a Mickey Mouse competition like there was talk earlier, which is really good. So I think that's really good for Cricket Australia to commit to doing that. And obviously, Channel 7 and Fox are going to be showing more games. So 26 games are going to be on TV, which is great, which is more than last year. And I think all of the games are going to be streamed on Cricket Australia on the app and also on KO as well, which is really good. So you can watch all of the games, which I think is brilliant.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
Finally
absolutely,
caught up with the
100%.
times there, I think, Leisa.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. You used to scrounge through the newspapers to try and find any mention of women's cricket.
Find a little. Yeah.
Now
find a
we're
little
not that anyone cares, but
sorry, Nick.
it's also my favorite
Sorry,
T20
Nick.
tournament.
Sorry,
We've done it again.
We've done it. We just got. Sorry, Nick. We got so excited. We got so excited about just getting into the WBBL. We forgot to introduce producer Nick,
You couldn't even help yourself.
the man that makes this thing work. I apologise. Welcome.
Genuinely
There you
though,
go.
many of our King Sports sponsored players are very talented female cricketers.
Correct.
And it is my best opportunity to see all the fruits of my hard work
That is
on
right.
television.
On television.
And
Yeah.
so I do genuinely love the BBL.
Yes. Sorry about that, Nick. I apologise. I do it. We do it occasionally. I apologise. We forget.
Don't
from
wanna
time to
mention
time.
the man in the
Honestly,
corner.
you're going to start
Absolutely.
apologising for apologising too many times. Let's move on.
I was almost going to do it then, but I didn't. Anyway,
Sorry, Hamish.
okay. So now, obviously, the big change to this tournament,
Yep.
thanks to COVID, is that all of the games are going to be in Sydney, which is great for people in Sydney. It's great for
That's a
people in
great
Sydney.
change.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, all the players are going to come here. They're going to have to live a hub life, which is the
Yep.
the new
The bubble.
the new I don't know, what would you call it? The new buzzword.
The buzzword that I'm having to look into and look to deal with is biosecurity.
Whoa.
Biosecurity.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just, I guess ensuring that throughout tournaments like this that no stone is left unturned when it comes to not just the physical security of the girls, which and any high-level cricketer during tournaments like these, but obviously that everything is squeaky clean and healthy and safe.
And no one that's not supposed to be there comes into the secured bubble.
Yes.
So everything can
In these
keep going.
unprecedented times that we like to keep talking about.
Which I'm happy to say may have some impact on myself and the way I operate with the running of the cricket centre, the Norm O'Neill Cricket Centre, because there might be some training that happens there. We're still in the process of testing out turf wickets to see if they will be okay and at the level of
required.
the WBBL practice sessions. But if it does indeed turn out that way, then we will have to be at the top of our biosecurity game.
There you go.
And
this is a new term to me, this hub life thing, and I've Googled it a little bit here. Can you explain to me practically what physically is happening with the whole hub thing? How does that work?
Basically what it is, so that all the players will go into basically I think they're going to 2 hotels. So all the teams will go into 2 hotels, and they'll basically have, I think they'll probably dedicated floors for each team, or possibly, and they basically just have to stay. You're not going to basically be able to interact with the general public. So you're essentially going to be going from being in the team hotel and interacting with. I would guess they would be able to interact with other players from other teams, because if they're all in the same area, they will have to quarantine for 14 days in there, so that they'll get COVID tested multiple times to make sure everybody's fine and can stay there, and then you'll just basically just be in the hotel or at designated training facilities or at the game.
And the duration of that is?
It goes from the 25th of October until the 29th of November. That's when the competition runs. Okay. So
that whole time,
you've got
plus
2 weeks.
Give or take
you've
2
got
weeks.
2 weeks before that.
Right.
I think the players also will have to probably. I think they've got to quarantine at home as well for 14 days before they go into the hotel. So it's almost like a month of quarantining or something, possibly. So there's lots of quarantining going on, and then
and you just might see me in a hazmat suit at work.
You might have to quarantine. You might have to live at Norm O'Neill.
Maybe
doesn't he?
Again.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
I think I know that. I know someone who'd probably agree with you in that department. So it's interesting, but I suppose they have to take a line and show that they're doing the right thing. Is it all a bit too much? I suppose number one, let's just ensure that there's no Victorian security staff at these hotels. But
poor Melbourne
would you call them security staff?
We're looking at other sports, and it seems a hell of a lot more lenient.
Is it? Not really. I mean, like the football players have been, the league players have been, and the AFL players have been. They've been in, like bio bubbles. Basically for the entire season. So I mean, hasn't been really a lot of. They haven't been able to go out and do a lot of things. So
they've been pretty heavy-handed with the fines for breaches of those bubbles. So
So
I mean, I think it's a necessary evil. Unfortunately, I mean, the girls are going to be locked away for around 2 months, maybe, depending if they make finals and all that sort of stuff. But I think it's potentially a small price to pay.
But essentially, this is what they live for, right?
Right.
This is your passion. This is also your living.
For those not in Sydney, it's probably a bit like being on tour.
On tour. I mean, I'm guessing like they're going to be fairly well looked after. Would have thought in the hotels. There'll be sort of. I guess there'll be lots of things to be able to do in the hotels. They're not just going to be locked in their room and not be able to come out.
Not like you don't have your mates with you. So
I guess the crux of part of my point there might be that, for instance, there's going to be some games locally at Hurstville Oval. But there won't be
no crowd interaction.
There won't be any crowd. I don't think there's going to be crowd at the game.
What?
I think
it might. It may depend on where it is. So possibly so somewhere maybe like Hurstville. I think it may be hard.
So what I'm saying is that overkill
to have that to sort of like to limit the number of people in there and where could they go, because obviously Hurstville's quite an open sort of stadium. But if they were playing at
it's an oval.
In that it's an oval, yes. If they were playing somewhere where they had more grandstand seating,
right,
and you could isolate crowd and players, you could probably do that. So
because the whole idea about WBBL was boutique grounds. So Hurstville Oval, North Sydney Oval, Drummoyne Oval, Howell Oval at Penrith. Is there a need now for boutique grounds if there's not going to be the crowds?
No, just part of the
play it wherever.
Could go to North Sydney. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so that will be interesting. And also that was one of the disappointing things. Is one of the great things about the WBBL is that at the end of the game, all the girls go round.
Yeah.
They sign lots of autographs. They get lots of pictures. Everyone loves to interact with them, and that's obviously not going to be able to happen.
They've been absolutely fantastic in
this
department.
regard. So, which is going to be a bit of a bugger, but
that was a great aspect of the WBBL. But why can't we just sort of barricade the crowd off from,
a couple of perspex sheets up or something, and
just keep the players on one side and
yeah, mate, yeah.
Yeah.
They're working through all those fun stuff at the moment.
That's a shame because from St George cricket point of view, we absolutely love hosting these 2 to 3 WBBL games per year, and we love having the crowd come in, the local community come in and support. And like I said, the girls are just absolutely fantastic with their time. I guess at the end of the day, they're also promoting the game.
And, it's also for a local cricket club like St George. There's a financial aspect
100%.
to it in terms of revenue over the canteen. There's usually good crowds there, and
true. But I suppose it is what it is. They're the times we live in currently at the moment. The main thing is that we have a tournament.
That's right.
And we have 56 games. And I suppose we should start having a little bit of a chat on how we think this tournament is going to play out.
There's been some movement.
There has been some movers and shakers, hasn't there? There are 3 standouts in my mind for the movement of the players. Meg Lanning has left the Perth Scorchers, gone back to Melbourne Stars.
The Scorchers didn't quite get their value there, did they?
No,
given that she was out for
mostly
most
injured.
last season.
Yeah.
Beth Mooney, the T20 number 1 player in the world, has left Brisbane Heat, has gone to the Perth Scorchers. And the big hitting Kiwi, Sophie Devine, has left Adelaide Strikers and is also headed for Perth Scorchers.
I think Perth might have won out in that, in if you say, lost Meg Lanning.
Yeah.
But did pick up Beth Mooney and Sophie Devine.
Yep.
They're going to be red hot.
Handy replacements, I would have thought.
Well, I suppose Lanning coming back to the Melbourne fold.
Yeah.
I suppose that would certainly bolster their chances.
Going to captain the team as well.
If she's at full fitness,
the Melbourne Stars have a few stars in their lineup now. They're Meg Lanning and Catherine Brunt, the big fast bowler from England, and an underrated player. Nat Siver.
Yeah,
all rounder, really.
So
good
again,
player.
another one that Perth lost. Catherine Brunt had played for the Scorchers, but missed last year. Didn't play last year, but Nat Siver was there. So, so Stars have done okay. Stars have done all right. They've got a handy team. The Stars.
The Heat were last year's champions, obviously.
Back to back.
We always look at how the champs are looking. There are a couple of big losses.
Yeah. Yep.
Sammy Jo Johnson,
the Thunder.
She was one of the standouts of last season's tournament.
Yep.
And
Beth Mooney, obviously gone. And their captain has retired. Kirby Short has retired.
So do we think that's it? The run is over?
For the three-peat?
Yep.
I think the three-peats.
I think the three-peat could be a bit tough. It's a solid squad, but losing those players.
One of our girls back into the fold, though, Georgia Redmayne, and in scintillating form at the moment.
Up in club cricket. Yep.
I would like to see Georgia, though, take that from the longer formats into T20.
Yeah.
But a bit faster.
Yep.
Exceptional talent and potentially one of the most underrated female cricketers that I know going around.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would just like to see it bat a bit faster.
Yep.
Yes. They could. I think they'll still be there and thereabouts. You've got the young Kiwi Amelia Kerr. Their leggy, very good bowler. She'll do some damage. So she's
I had
important.
her picked as one of the pivotal players for the Brisbane Heat.
Yeah.
She gets that wrong and right.
Because not many people pick it, so that could cause all sorts of trouble. Yeah.
Yep, demolish a lineup.
One of our girls, Kingsport player, Grace Harris. Grace Harris has got to get back and find some of her best form. I think.
Well, she alone is a game changer.
Yeah.
If she comes off in a game, and that's T20, you just want one of your big guns to turn a game on its head by just having one of those innings.
One of those days. Yeah.
So it comes down to semi-finals where if she finds some form,
just got to be consistent and
So you're putting Brisbane in the semis?
I think they have to be. Yeah, I think they have to be.
Yeah,
they're still pretty good on paper. Jess Johannesson.
Jonathan.
What did I say?
Johannesson.
Jonathan.
She's taken over the captaincy.
Was I
very level head there?
Perhaps thinking of that actress?
Scarlett Johansson.
That's not her last name either.
No. So I don't know who you were. I'm not sure
enough.
I don't know who you were thinking of, Hamish. But anyway,
don't cloud my mistakes with factual facts. Okay?
Fake news, Nick. Fake news. Is that what it is?
All right.
I think the Renegades could be a bit sneaky. I think they've been there and thereabouts. They've got their skipper back. I mean, Satterthwaite is back after having a baby last year, so she's back, as well as Alyssa Healy is in as well. But you've obviously got Sophie Molyneux, who plays for Australia, very very talented.
And last year's leading wicket taker Molly Strano.
Yep.
Lizelle Lee there at the top.
Yeah. Goes from the Stars to the Renegades,
and she can put an innings together quick.
She can hit them well. So not bad. You've got Maitland Brown, who's currently up with the Aussie squad. Promising young fast bowler, sort of there. Jess Duffin. She played well last year. She's still coming to cricket.
Put
so
the footy boots away.
Put the footy boots for the time being. So and obviously they got the Wolf, Georgia Wareham, another good leg spinner. So they're going to be they'll be there and thereabouts, I think.
Okay.
They'll be sneaky. Yeah.
What about our Sydney teams?
Yeah.
Where are we going to? Well, first of all, Thunder or Sixers? Who's going to be the leading Sydney team? And then from there, will they go all the way? Are we going to be one-eyed? I personally am going to back the Sixers in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, just looking through the squad, I would have to suggest that of the Sydney teams, I think the Sixers might take that mantle.
Be a little stronger on paper.
I'm gonna run with the Sixers. Surprisingly,
Something wrong if you don't.
I guess a lot of it will come down to the big guns and their fitness.
Yeah.
Do we know how she's going?
She being
Elise Perry.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. She I think is tracking okay.
Yep.
Well, she's up in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Ready to take on the Kiwis, which starts this weekend, I think.
So
at time of recording.
At the time of recording, it was
basically don't dive.
Yeah.
Don't do anything silly.
I would think that they would be. I would suggest that they would be fairly cautious with her early on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that possibly maybe. I mean, she doesn't do a lot of. She does. I mean, she bowls, but she probably doesn't do a lot of bowling really for the Sixers all the time. So, and her value previously has generally probably been more in the batting sense.
Yep.
So, and with the players that they've got a lot of fast bowlers. They've got a lot of bowling stocks in there, so she may not have to do a lot of bowling.
Yep.
And if she just bats, then that will take a bit of the strain off.
And knowing Elise, she would have literally worked her butt off.
Every T would have been crossed and every I would have been dotted.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Is that a superstition?
I don't know.
For me, though,
see previous episode.
For the Sixers, the rubber hits the road with Alyssa Healy.
Yep.
Yeah.
If she fires, the team fires.
Yeah.
In the past, though, where she's been out of form, the team has struggled.
Yeah, if she gets them off to a good start, it doesn't necessarily have to. She doesn't need to get a 50 or 100, but if she gets them off to a quick start, quick 5, 30 odd, then they can rattle on.
Usually if one doesn't fire and the other does, and that's the benefit of having virtually the two best batters in the world in the same team.
They are important at the top of the order. Yeah, like you said, if they both fire, needless to say, obviously the Sixers generally do well. If both of them don't do as well, then they have struggled in the past. Which was seen last year.
And then there's Ash Gardner.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Ash
Gardner,
who on her day can potentially knock out the quickest century in the history of the WBBL. Is she still the?
No.
Grace
Harris.
Yeah.
Right.
Either way, King Sport. So just although Ash was with a King Sport.
That's was with a King Sport.
Was
yeah.
with a
was with a King
I think
Sport.
In the men's BBL tournament.
Still got it.
Yeah. Craig Simmons.
Well, we have both the fastest in the men's and the women's.
Yeah.
Centuries.
So there you go.
King Sport. Yeah.
Sydney Thunder.
Do you put that down to the graphic artist who wasn't with us at the time? I do.
I mean, if you're gonna if you're looking for correlative things like that, I mean, you can't deny that.
There's something there. There's something there.
Anyway, the Thunder.
Yeah.
Won the first edition, but haven't. I don't know if they've really threatened since, have they?
Yeah, they got out of the blocks really quick, as you said. WBBL 01 winners, and since haven't been overly impressed.
No, obviously lost a lot of experience. So Alex Blackwell's retired, and Renee Farrell has retired.
That's right. And just they're a young team. So there's plenty of learning to be had there. But I think Rachel Haynes, the captain, is going to have a lot of weight on her shoulders. And Sammy Jo Johnson, a good get coming from Brisbane. With her bowling skills,
so her and her late hitting, So it's going to be at the moment, like you said, a young squad. Shabnam Ismail is important for them as well. The South African fast bowler bowls sharp, bowls quick, so
good wheels.
She's important.
The one I'll be really looking out for is young Phoebe Litchfield. An exciting talent. Who's now had her first tournament behind her, comes into it with probably a lot more confidence.
I would hope so.
And she's a year older.
Yep.
And at her age, that makes a big difference. So, I think there's a watch this space type situation with her. She'll have quite a bit more responsibility on her shoulders.
Well, there's going to be some batting responsibility for her. There's some. It is a young team, and the experience they've got. Those players are going to have to really, really do the job for them.
Speaking of experience or loss of Adelaide strikers, the Smash sisters have been split. We mentioned Sophie Devine heading to Perth Scorchers. Susie Bates is still down there, of course. She's another big hitter. There's quite a bit of experience in the Adelaide Strikers. I think they're going to go okay.
Well, they're always there or thereabouts. Sarah Coyte still
Sarah Coyte's playing.
Going.
Megan Shute, obviously, one of the best T20 bowlers in the world, is there. So they're an interesting one for me. It's how with no Devine.
It's a big loss, huge loss.
Because she scored
leading
runs
run scorer
and
last year
and took wickets. It was the player of the tournament. How are they gonna cope with that? The young South African Laura Wolvart
gets an opportunity.
Gets an opportunity. Had previously been at the Heat, but sort of didn't really play a lot. She's still young, and
that surprised me. She's done okay for South Africa.
So she was good in the T20 World Cup. Especially in that semi-final against Australia. Almost got them over the line against the Aussies in that rain-affected game. But so she's going well. So that'll be interesting to see how they go. Bridget Patterson has generally played pretty well for them in the T20 comp. So again, there's gonna be it's interesting. A lot of pressure on Bates, Shute, Talia McGrath.
It's time for her to stand up and just grab that opportunity.
So she's going to have to score runs, take wickets. And you've got Amanda Jade Wellington, who is again another talented,
very good
leg spinner. So I think the key that we're finding here is that if you've got a good leg spinner, you're going to go well. So obviously, like the Sixers they've got Van Niekerk. And Angelique, they've got a couple. So, if you've generally got a good leggy, then
it helps.
Yeah.
Got a question for you, Stewie.
Yes, Hamish.
All right. How many King Sport girls will there be in the WBBL this season?
There will be a few. I probably couldn't tell you right off the top of my head. I'm going to have to go through and count them.
I reckon what. I just thought I'd put. I thought I could have told you beforehand that I was going to ask you that question.
You could have, so I could have done some research.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put you on the spot.
Maybe a ballpark figure.
Yeah. Oh, he's
he's
counting.
counting
No,
now.
I wondered, Leisa, how many New South Wales girls there are in the entire WBBL tournament.
Do you want me to start counting too?
No, I reckon what we'll do is we'll let the man that puts this whole thing together, Nick, to somehow get it into at least the video version of this podcast.
Okay, say that one more time. What do you want me to do?
We're gonna find out how many New South Wales girls are in the WBBL
When you say
tournament.
New South Wales girls, like
They
started playing cricket in New South Wales,
and maybe born and bred in New South Wales.
I'm going to say at least
I wonder what the percentage
30,
is.
40.
Yeah, I reckon you'd be
50.
surprised. You'd be surprised. Interesting question though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, New South Wales.
Here we go.
Big
Kings
breeding
Sport
I've got an
girls.
answer. I've done a quick count. I reckon it's 11.
11. Oh, we're
you're talking
down.
about Kings
Down
Sport.
a little bit.
Yeah, right.
I reckon it's 11. Yeah.
11. Anyway, we'll confirm that
I reckon it's 11,
somehow on the.
Hamish just give me a very deep research project. I have to do a genealogy of every girl playing in the WBBL.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also add to that, how many girls have at one stage used Kings?
Oh, well.
Oh, God.
Am I asking too much?
You are. A little bit of warning would have been
no,
nice.
But we're proud of our brand that we
It's a good number.
represent here at Kingsgrove.
Yeah.
So we've gone through most of the teams.
Yep.
We mentioned at the top we thought Perth were looking pretty sharp with Sophie Devine, Beth Mooney, Nicole Bolton in there as well. I think they've still got a few players that we're not sure who's going to fill their squad.
Wickets,
at
I
this
think.
point.
Wickets are, I think, the issue for them.
Yeah. If you haven't filled your squad by now, are you just picking up the scraps, or do we know of a few high quality girls that are out there that I haven't got?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on
a
how.
few West Indians, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. You'd have to. You'd obviously.
Yeah.
Overseas, there's obviously a lot of rigmarole to try and get them into the country. So,
And that's what I'm wondering. Are there a number of players who are lined up, but they're just not sure?
if they can come in,
You really wouldn't want to be the the team director or manager at the moment trying to get players into the country.
trying to fill out the paperwork to try to get them in.
No, absolutely
So
not.
if you haven't filled your squad, we're a little concerned.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, guys.
And then our friends down south, Hobart Hurricanes.
Yeah.
So we always like the Hurricanes, don't we?
Yeah.
You just like the purple, don't you?
Purple's good.
So it's not my favourite colour. It's probably in the top 12 or 13.
Yeah,
How many colors do you think there are, man?
Like
basic colours.
Primary colours.
Look,
Well, I mean, if you're going to say purple, that's a very vague color. So when you're talking about color on that level, there's only like 7 of them.
yeah, but we're being a bit more specific. The sixes are magenta, not pink.
Okay, fair enough.
You're going into hues, Hamish.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Hobart. We
Anyway,
were
back
about
to
to
Hobart.
give you a
Back
rap.
to
Corinne Hall.
Come on.
Yep.
Kings
Yeah.
so far, yeah.
One of our favourites.
Great leader.
She will
Great
be.
leader.
She will be
Experienced
a key
now.
for them. Because
Yeah.
again, just looking, they've recruited pretty well. So they got Rachel Priest
Yes.
from
Thunder?
from the Thunder. So she'll be important for them at the top of the order.
They'll be looking for some divine intervention from Rachel Priest.
Very
some
good.
spiritual leadership.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good
Thanks,
with that. Taylor Valamic will be important for them. She went down last year. The big quick from Victoria.
Yep.
She was good for them, along with Kings Sports own Belinda Vakawira.
Yep.
Had a great tournament last year, so they will be the key for them in terms of getting top order wickets and taking wickets.
And with the bat, I think Hayley Matthews, we've seen what she can do.
Yeah.
Briefly, but I'd like to see a bit more. And for me, I think Nicola Carey stand up a little bit more
She'll
with the
have to-
bat.
she'll have to stand
yeah, she bowling okay for Australia.
Yeah, well,
But
she sort of got pigeonholed.
Yeah.
And look, I was lucky enough to spend a lot of time in the nets here at Kingsgrove coaching Nicola, and for me, she was always going to be a standout batter.
Yeah.
I'd like her to just now see
Yeah.
her get those opportunities a little bit more.
I don't
because
think we've seen the best of her
no
batting.
way, no way.
So I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Chloe Tryan's going to be important for them, the South African, that had a few cameos last year, can hit the ball a long way. They'll be looking to her to get some big runs. Right. Should we
make a prediction and
should we get your semi-finalists and your winner?
Yeah.
And then a player to watch.
Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Stars, Heat, Strikers, Sixers. Sixers to win.
Okay. Semis.
That's your semis, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so Sixers, yes, I think they're top 5 orders. The Stars, I think they're going to be very competitive. Perth Scorchers, I think they're going to be in there, and not sure about my third one, my fourth one. Yeah, not really. I don't really know, but I think I'm gonna put my money on the Scorchers.
Okay.
To make it or win the whole thing?
Win it. Yeah.
The Scorchers. I didn't even have them in my.
No, you've brushed them completely, right?
That's because I gave them my support last year and they disappointed me.
You're jaded.
So you've just got
them.
You brushed them.
Yeah.
You brushed
They brushed me last year.
All right. So semi-finalists will be the Sixers. I think the Stars will get in.
So we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Scorchers will make it, and I'm gonna put in the Renegades.
Okay.
To make it, and
Two Melbourne teams,
and then obviously the Sixers will.
What sort of New South Welshman are you putting 2 Melbourne teams in there?
Because it makes it all more sweeter when we beat them.
There you go.
Nice touch.
I think the exercise has just demonstrated it's quite wide open.
Yes.
It's going to be always going to be an exciting tournament.
It's T20 cricket.
I mean, I think a lot of it. Yeah. I mean, you can make arguments for all of these teams to get in. I think they've. For the majority, most of them have actually sort of recruited quite well, so that they're all fairly even, and it's just going to come down to how.
I think Nick's trying to tell us something.
It's a unique competition, and unique is a word that we like to apply to our guy Hamish here. So if there's something, maybe
is it time?
If anything, it's pastime.
That's essentially what he's really trying to tell us.
So quickly, you play to watch in the tournament.
Oh golly, you put me on the spot here. I don't know. All of them. Just watch them all. They're all good. Anybody, Hamish? Anybody?
I think just from the fact that I want a Sixers, and I predicted a Sixers win, the player to watch will obviously be Elise Perry.
Fair enough.
Because if she's fit, she'll certainly go a long way towards seeing that team do the job.
I'm interested in.
It's a bit boring.
Sorry.
That's why I didn't want to pick one.
Well, sorry, Hamish. Sorry. I mean, again, I'm going with the Victorian. I'm just going with the
Audible
after hearing the words of the Australian skipper Meg Lanning. I'm interested to see how Annabelle Sutherland goes.
Okay.
Apparently, she's been training the house down for Victoria, and in their pre-season is going really well with the New South Wales squad. So. Yeah. Meg's backed her in for a big future, so I'm interested to see how she goes.
What about this player to watch that you might be able to help us with? Sarah Ailey.
Yes, yeah.
Sarah Ailey.
Yeah.
Player to watch?
Play to watch,
or ex-player to watch,
yeah, look, play to watch, yeah. She'll be doing a lot of coaching for the Sixers, so we'll see what happens.
Let's say a couple of bowlers were to get injured.
Yeah, mate, she'll be ready to go.
She's in.
Oh, she's in. Yeah, she's in, ready to go.
You've heard
Definite player
You've heard it from us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Haim.
Yes.
You love to be unique. What have you got for us this week?
Okay. Hamish's unique top 5 cricket songs.
It's nothing to do with the WBBL.
No. However...
So unique.
And we're all immediately thinking...
I don't like cricket.
The standards. And they're my honourable mentions. Dreadlock Holiday by 10cc.
Yeah.
The line says it all. I don't like cricket. I love it. Soul Limbo, Booker T and the MGs. Do you know that piece?
No.
That was the theme music to the BBC cricket.
Oh, okay.
So when you hear it, you just instantly
think cricket.
It's a great tune. Our Don Bradman by Jack O'Hayden goes without saying, one of the great cricketing songs of all time. Howzat by Sherbet.
Yeah.
And that basically confirms, when you've got the line Howzat in what is essentially, I think, a breakup song, potentially, that cricket is a metaphor for life, and that cricket is life and the rest is just mere detail. Come on, Aussie, come on. The Mojo sings. Now, we all grew up with those guys and their voices and Meadow Lee ads and stuff like that. I used to perform that one for the family before the actions. One of the great cricketing songs, probably the best, to be truthful. But it's not in the top 5 because it's It's just too mainstream.
Okay.
It's
Are we at the top 5 yet?
It's not unique.
Are we still in
what number are we on?
We're still honourable mentioning.
Okay. And here's a couple of... The West Indies love their cricket songs.
Yeah.
And in fact, you've got players. The actual players now recording songs and stuff.
DJ Bravo.
Yeah, exactly. Cricket, Lovely Cricket by Jar Thomas. I recommend go and have a listen to that. And the famous Lord Kitchener, Cricket Champions.
Right.
But without any further ado, here's my unique top 5 cricket songs.
Hit us.
At number 5, When an Old Cricketer Leaves the Crease by Roy Harper. Now, Roy Harper is the legend loved by other legends such as Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. In fact, Harper supplied the vocal track to the legendary Pink Floyd song Have a Cigar.
Wow.
Right.
From the Wish You Were Here album.
Okay.
So the name of the song is When an Old Cricketer Leaves the Crease.
Doesn't it make you want to cry?
Oh.
It's got that metaphorical,
I feel like a lament.
This guy's got COVID or something. And he's on his way out.
The great cricket dirges.
Yes. Cricket. Just Cricket by the Kinks, the band that brought us the song about transvestite Lola.
Lola. Right.
Is it about cricket or is it about the insect?
No.
That was going to be my question.
I've done the research. The lyrics to this song, I've actually printed them out.
Are you going to sing?
Right. Just have a look at some of those lyrics and just give us a line in a tick.
To me?
Right. Because you can read. Stuart, I'm not too sure whether he can read.
These things are just
Anyway, in a moment. Cricket in the Jungle by the Tradewinds. The story of animals coming together in the jungle to play a great game of cricket. One of the lines, line from the chorus,
go ahead.
Is potentially a sledge that's been used many a time. Hit the ball, donkey, hit the ball. A parrot is an umpire. And the bowler is an elephant. Just imagine him coming in.
Is it a children's song? Is it a children's album?
These are all songs that I have listened to. It's actually it's a bit of a reggae-ish sort of.
Right.
It's actually a great song. So I'm encouraging our listeners to go out,
please,
and search and YouTube these pieces. You'll actually find that they're actually pretty good pieces of music. They've grown on me over the years. Yeah. Have you got a line from us, the Kinks cricket?
Cricket. Now, God laid down the rules of life when he wrote those 10 commandments, and to the cricket, those 10 same rules shall apply. Show compassion and self-righteousness, and be honest above all, and come to God's call with bat and ball.
There you go.
The Kinks.
The Kinks.
Ray Davies. The Kinks.
Okay. That's better than...
All right, now this one, there's a couple of songs here from one of the great cricketing movies of all time, Lagaan. Has anyone seen Lagaan?
No.
Trust me, do yourself a favour. That might be my next unique top 5 is cricket in movies.
Okay, all right.
Cricket in movies,
like
but Lagaan...
I might have a suggestion for that one.
Okay, there's 2 songs.
Yeah.
Mitwa, which is it's actually musically a great song, and Chale Chalo, which has a very inspiring film clip to it. So check it out on YouTube. It's one of the great cricketing stories. Lagaan, check it out. Okay. That's my number 2. Number 1, this one is unique. By one of our favourite bands, Powderfinger, one of the great Australian bands, certainly in the top 10 great Australian bands of all time.
Even named an album after a...
Don't steal too much of my thunder. Sorry. But this is actually from a previous album, from 1996 Double Allergic album. It's a hidden track.
Oh.
So that if you're one of those little gaps...
do you have to play it backwards or?
No. But if you go all the way, then there's like
about
17 minutes of 3 songs, hidden tracks on this. And one of them is called SS.
SS.
Obviously after the old Stuart Surridge. Right now, these guys
or Serene Sports.
These guys love their cricket. Now, if you go to that album you were talking about, it was called Vulture Street. Vulture Street
up in Brisbane.
Yep, which is the Vulture
Coming
Street
in from the Vulture Street end. Yep.
So they named their album.
Gabba.
Now, on that album, they had a DV on the making of that album, and they were in the studio, and you could see them playing and laying down tracks. And on the walls, a poster of Matt Hayden.
Haydos.
Just underlining just how much they love the cricket. Now, here's a line from the song SS by Powderfinger. Borrowed courage from the gravel pitch. Through one day until the roof was hit. Stuart Surridge never growing tired. Little boys, baby safe inside. So there you have it. Hamish's unique 5 cricket songs. Let me know. Let me know if I've missed something, because literally there are hundreds of songs out there.
Who
these are songs that resonate, that I love, that I like listening to. to this day. Let's get your opinions out there on what we might have missed and some songs that you know of that we should listen to.
Well, Paul Kelly wrote one.
There's so many out there.
Yeah.
There could be 10.
Well, look, give us feedback on Hamish's list. Let us know what you thought about his choices for his cricket songs, top 5 unique cricket songs. And if he's missed anything, give us your feedback. If you're watching us here on YouTube with a video podcast, thanks for joining us. Of course, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or anywhere else you're listening to podcasts. And then give us your feedback through social media. Use the hashtag KSC Podcast, either Facebook.com/Kingsgrove Sports Center, Instagram at Kingsgrove Sports, or Twitter at Kingsgrove Sport. We would love to hear from you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Great episode.
Catch you
Loved
soon.
it.
Certainly great to hang out with you guys of a morning time.
Always.
Gonna miss it over the next few weeks.
That's okay.
All right. See you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.